Hey guys, my name is Sayan, and today we have a pretty interesting topic lined up. So, if you're new here and you're looking for videos about working out, diet, health, basketball, vegetarian recipes, studying tips, and much more, hit the subscribe button. And let's get straight to the video now. Stoicism is an ancient Greek philosophy that was started in 300 BC by this man named Zeno. People think that it's about being emotionless and putting on this persona of being a hard guy, but actually, it teaches you about emotional mastery. So, Stoics believe that challenges were not obstacles but only opportunities for growth. So, take a look at this quote. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. So, out here, they're explaining that things that come in your way or on your journey, you will face obstacles, but those obstacles are not to stop you from your journey. They're only showing you a new path. Now, let's take it from a very practical example. Let's say you're traveling on a road and there is a block in the middle of the road. What do? You won't take a U turn and go all the way back. You'd simply just drive around the block. So that's what this quote is telling you. It's telling you that what stands in the way becomes the way, and obstacles are opportunities for growth. So this quote is a very nice one, and it says that the art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. This shows us that they have a very rational picture of life. Everyone thinks that life is so glorified these days thanks to social media that people have these elaborate morning routines and everyone is seeming to do everything perfectly and has fancy cars, has fancy everything, and there's a very glorified picture of what your life should look like these days. But this quote explains the exact opposite. It says that the art of living is more like wrestling. It's like it's not the most beautiful thing to look at, and it's not the most pleasurable experience. It's tough at times, it's hard. But sometimes when you pin down your opponent, it makes you feel good. So it's a very difficult journey, but it's something that you will master over time. If you see, wrestling is also a sort of art form. So it's still saying that life is a sort of art form, but it's tougher than you think it is going to be, and it's not like the glorified picture you'd expect it to be. Lesson number two is focusing on what you can control. Stoicism explains this very simply. There's two things, things you can control and things you can't control. Okay? And they say put emphasis only on what you can control, ignore everything else, ignore what you can't control. This is the most logical answer, but if you think about it, in our day-to-day lives, we stress and we worry about so many things that are not in our control. You know, like if you're stuck in traffic, we start getting panicked and worrying, and we don't know what to do. We start cursing, we start getting irritated. It affects our mood, and the rest of our day is ruined. But Stoicism said, let the outside things just keep happening and focus only on what you can control. If you start thinking like this, you'll feel much more relaxed throughout your day. So, anytime you're about to make a decision or you're going to do something, ask yourself, is this in my control or is this not in my control? And then decide what you're going to do based off that.
Now, this lesson is a rather unconventional one. So, while people always have an opinion about things, this quote tells you that you don't have to always have an opinion to things. Which means that if you're asked a question or if there is a certain situation that's happening, you can choose not to react to it. And sometimes that's the best choice. You don't have to always be for or against something. You can choose to be neutral. When someone asks you, what do you think about this? What do you think about this situation that's happening? What do you think about this political leader? You can choose not to have a reaction, and it takes the least mental toll on you. You don't have to have an opinion about everything. Great example is if your friends are gossiping and saying, oh, what do you think about what he did to him and what she did to him, and what do you think, is it right, is it wrong? You just simply don't have an opinion, and that's fine, because you don't need to have an opinion about everything. Why should you have to worry about what's happening to some other person and what they are doing in their lives? It's perfectly okay not to have an opinion.
Now, lesson number four is all about perception. So, this is really important because the way you perceive things, it literally changes how you see things around you and how you feel about them. and how you feel yourself. Okay, so Stoicism teaches you that it's not the things that happen to us that cause us to suffer and to feel pain, but it's actually the way we interpret them. So two people can go through the same event and have vastly different experiences of it, and that's only because their thoughts give the situation meaning. You have the power to choose how you see things, and that will change how you perceive your reality around you. If you can control what's happening in here, you can control your life and what's happening around you, regardless of what's happening. Like Seneca said, we suffer so much more in imagination than reality. We think that we are suffering from the most tough thing in the world and that no one will understand what we're going through. But in reality, are you really suffering that much? So your mind can be your worst enemy or it can even be your greatest tool. So choose how you perceive things differently. And as long as what's happening here is in your control, whatever's happening outside will fall into place. So lesson six is about fate and actually embracing it. So listen, life is gonna throw stuff at you, things you didn't plan, things you didn't want, maybe even things that feel unfair. But Stoicism teaches you a very strong mindset that love the hand that fate deals with you and play it like it was yours all along. It's a principle called amor fati, and this is the Latin meaning for love of fate. It tells you don't tolerate fate. Don't even try to survive it. You should love it and accept all of it, accept the highs, accept the lows, accept all the setbacks. Just say that it's all yours and let's keep going. Marcus Aurelius said that a blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that's thrown into it. And he also said that what doesn't emit light creates its own darkness. So unless you're doing something actively about fate, about what life is throwing at you, things will start getting dark around you. So whatever happens, use it, flip it, grow from it, and that will make you powerful. Think about it. When you stop resisting reality, that's when you actually stop suffering. The energy you're wasting into complaining and saying, why me? Why is this happening to me? Now goes into responding, it goes into adapting and to becoming stronger. Even Epictetus said, don't seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Welcome things the way that they happen to. It means that you stop becoming a victim of your circumstances and take what's given to you and make it yours. And the last one I really love by this guy called Nietzsche. I can never pronounce his name, but the quote that I like is, my formula for greatness in human beings is amor fati. No one wants anything to be different, not forwards, not backwards, not in all eternity. So he's saying, whatever my life is, I don't want it to be different. I don't want to change the past, I don't want to change the future, and I don't want to change what's happening now. So when you stop fighting for what's happening to you and you start flowing with it, that's when nobody can mess with you. And that's when you really embrace your fate. This is the last lesson, but it's such a simple line that can change how you live. Be tolerant with others and be strict with yourself. We spend so much time judging other people, getting annoyed at what they do, getting annoyed at what they say, but this line just flips that. It's holding you to a higher standard for discipline, for consistency, for all the values you have. You give others grace at the same time. But why would you do that? Well, because you know how hard it is to do the right thing every day. You know how much effort it takes to grow. It's not easy to be improving every day, and it's definitely impossible to be perfect. So instead of getting mad at someone for messing up, try to understand, try to stay calm, stay grounded, let them do what they have to. Just focus on yourself and don't let yourself off the hook at the same time. You stay on point with your habits, you stay on point with your mindset, and you take charge of your actions. So Marcus Aurelius lived like that. He didn't preach it, he practiced it. Please take a second to really think about these quotes. There's so much wisdom in them if you look at it carefully. They've helped me with so much, they've helped me become the person I am. So if this stuff speaks to you, you should check out Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. It's a great book. And fun fact, this book was actually the only book ever written that was not meant to be published as a book. This was actually his personal journal and diary, where every day he wrote down things and values that really meant a lot to him. Imagine the ruler of the Roman Empire. He ruled more than half the world at some point, and still every day he had the humility to say such things. Everything in here is what it truly means to be a Stoic. So read the book if you'd like to. I'd suggest reading the translation by Gregory Hayes. It's the best one out there. And I hope this video taught you something and I hope you enjoyed it. So if you did, please consider subscribing. And that's all for the video. Thank you so much.